Hi everyone, it's Heidi Scott with DIY Dreaming with Heidi Scott, and today I'm going to show you my new creation, my new secret sauce. It's called to Frenchify something, so it's a Frenchify sauce. I know that sounds silly, but I went to 1 year of college in Avignon, France, which is a darling little town in Provence, and a lot of the furniture and things had this awesome color. It was sort of gray with a hint of blue, and it looked aged because it was in the south of France. You know, a lot of things are aged and they're handed down from one generation to the next and spruced up and painted along the way. So anyways, I am going to be showing you how to Frenchify plain wood and make it look special. This technique kind of was inspired when my friend Michelle Wyant called to order some Rescue Restore paint, and she wanted weathered shutters and she wanted Paris Flea Market, and those are two of the colors that I will be using today. I will also be using my favorite gel stain, which is called Hazel Mahogany, and all of these products are obviously from my company, A Maker Studio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some things that I made already that I have Frenchified, and then I will step over to my table and I will show you how to actually do that. And if you are watching this live, if you would put in the comments a smiley face, a hi, or really just about anything so that I know that you were able to catch this Facebook Live while it was live, that would be great. If you're watching this on a replay, if you could put hashtag replay in the comments, that would really help me too. And if you like the ideas and the technique that I have shared today, if you would share it on your Facebook page with your Facebook friends, that would really be awesome. I would so appreciate that. Okay, so this is the first thing that I Frenchified. And this is one of these 18-inch rounds from Home Depot. It's $6.12. I added these little handles on them. They were $1.48, I think, each. So you can see it's this beautiful color, which is sort of a blue-gray, and then it has areas where the gel stain has soaked in around the edge and throughout the board. This one first thing I did was I painted it with our weathered shutters Rescue Restore paint. Then I sanded around the corners a little bit, and when I did that painting initially, I kind of did a dry brush, so I didn't cover every single spot on this 18-inch round. I left some places empty. I didn't put paint on them. Those are called holidays in fancy painter talk. So I left some holidays all over on my tray. And then when it was dry, I stenciled using the Paris Flea Market Rescue Restore paint and our There Is a Season for Everything stencil, which I think is becoming my favorite stencil, especially this time of year. And I removed that, I let it dry, and then I took our Hazel Mahogany gel stain and I put my brush in the gel stain and then in the water, and I sloppily, I'm a messy crafter, so I sloppily covered my board, and then using paper towels, I wiped it off. And essentially the gel stain sinks into the areas where you have holidays, where you have raw wood, and it doesn't sink in as well on the places where your wood is covered in paint. Okay, so that's the first thing I made. Then I was downtown in Alpharetta with a girlfriend this weekend, looking in some cute little shops, and I saw these darling little photo holders, and they were just made with this 2x6 and 12-inch long pieces of wood, and that inspired me to come home and try to make it. So this one I did the same technique, and I used our all over little deer stencil in the Paris Flea Market, and I tied some twine on it, and that's what I put this cute little picture of my girls, Mia and Molly, in. This was really meant to have a vertical picture, but I didn't have time to find one this morning. And I have about 10 zillion pictures of my dogs all over the house. So it was very easy for me to find this one. So isn't that cute? You can see the holidays are darker because that's where the gel stain absorbed. And then I made this too. This would just sit on your bookshelves or in your kitchen or wherever you wanted it. This is sort of a reverse Frenchify in that I painted the Paris Flea Market first, and then I did the Oliver Deer stencil using the weathered shutters. I sanded it to have holidays, blank spots, and then I put the hazel mahogany gel stain on it, wiped that off, tied some twine around it, and made this little cross piece of art. So let's step over to my table. This is the first time I've done a live this way, so it is it's gonna take a little getting used to. But I want you to see my hands and the board and not my face. So I'm gonna move this over here and get settled. And hopefully I won't be tipping over. Okay, so this is a board that I was working on last night and this morning. It has our home stencil. It is, this board is 1 inch thick by 10 inches wide by 24 inches long. And so it's just a little bit smaller than our home stencil, which is 12 inches wide by 24 inches long. So, okay, so the steps are, the first thing I did was I beat up my board with a hammer and some screwdrivers just on the front. Then I took my bluish gray weathered shutters, Rescue Restore paint, and I covered the whole entire thing. Then I took my home stencil and laid it on here, got it placed exactly where I wanted it to be. Mine looks terrible because it has been used by so many people at my workshops, but it still works. It's just ugly. Anyways, and I took our little foam dome brush and my Paris Flea Market paint, and I just took my paint and basically through the magic of technology, I covered my whole entire stencil, pulled it off, and I had home. Okay, then I took some sandpaper and I just went over it a little bit more along the edges and in places where there were holidays. Fancy for voids or places where the paint wasn't on. And so now the step that I'm going to show you live is how to do the gel stain. And this is really cool. Oh my gosh, and these products go so far. I can't even tell you how many projects I've done with just this one thing of gel stain, and I've had people using it at my workshops too, and I still have more than half of it left. Okay, so I'm going to take our Maker Studio chip brush, and I got it wet, and I'm just going to put it in my gel stain, and I'm going to get a little bit of stain on it, and then I'm going to brush it on my board. I want it to be wet so it's a little diluted. That way it'll sink in and it won't be so thick. And you're going to work in sections. Okay, so now the fun part is the taking off part. And you're just going to take some paper towels and you're essentially just going to wipe the stain off. It will be sinking into the paint a little bit, and it will also be sinking into the holidays on your board a little bit. So I'm going to get the majority of that off, and then I'm going to take some wet paper towels, and I'm just going to scrub so that I can get it so it doesn't look like it has gel stain over the top of it. And where you're going to notice it is on the edges and corners and the places where I sanded, where there were voids. So if you're watching this in a replay, if you would go ahead and type #replay in the comments, I would appreciate that. And if you're watching it live, just say anything. Hi, I hate your project. I don't like Frenchifying things, or I like it, or whatever. That would be great. By the way, this is the second time I'm recording this today. The first time, I don't know what I did, but my video was sideways. So I guess it was a good practice. I did the whole thing and then I deleted it to get this one done that isn't sideways. So here's what it looks like when I put the, hey Rachel, thank you, I love it too. Oh my gosh, this is such a cool process. So you can see where the gel stain has sunk in the places where I created that scratch with the back of my hammer with those two little pointy things. And it's sinking into the little holes that I got just by hitting the top of a screwdriver into it. And then around the edges where I sanded. So that is basically what you get. And I'm going to put feet on this little tray. I will take a picture when it's completed and I'll post that in the comments. But these are just some little round balls that I got from Hobby Lobby. They're probably, I don't know, $1.50-ish for 4, maybe $2. I painted them in the weathered shutters, let it dry, sanded them a little bit, and then put my gel stain on it and wiped it off. And I will just be gluing those to the bottom of my board, so it will be a tray. Anyways, let me check. I think that is pretty much all I want to tell you. Oh, thank you, Rachel. That's great. Who else is out there? Anyone? If you are interested in learning how to Frenchify some wood for your home or for gifts, these make excellent gifts during the holidays, then you can private message me or just put something in the comments that you want more information, and I will send you a link to my online store where you can order, and you can see all the different Rescue Restore paint colors and options for gel stain and brushes and all that good jazz. So I think that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining me. And I will be doing another Facebook Live probably tomorrow and then again on Thursday because I have lots to share. All right, have a wonderful day. Thanks.